Now, good evening. The program you watch now, UDUOTA. UDUOTA means the heart of the matter. And we're original from independent television in Edo State, Nigeria, to discuss and analyze issues where they happen for inside Obodo, Nigeria, and we don't do it again for another round of discussion. My name is Emma Akpololo. From any part of the world when you watch us from, either London, UK, US, Kano, Kaduna, Lagos, Katsina, anywhere you watch us. For those of them where we say, now belong to the Christian faith, want to say Merry Christmas to all of you, and of course, we also say Happy New Year in advance. And so we talk all the time, and so we take the group order. And today, we will look at some of the issues that get to do with country, particularly as the year don't finish. We'll review so many issues and look at if what would likely happen in 2022. And this time around, we'll get one of our own rooms to talk to us. This evening, join us via Zoom, Professor Odio Agani, all the way from Lagos. Professor from senior lecturer for Lagos State University for Lagos. He will join us via Zoom. Then we'll get our brother for inside the studio. First of all, Oakina. They will talk. My brother, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Okay. The other one will be Nofe Imaswe. He did with us for inside studio too. Recently, now they see this face for inside this studio, but the Congo now you don't get chief Tansi title, and he's now the Inofe Bama of Inefi Bama of Amaho Kingdom, NF Bama of our Kingdom. So, NF Bama of Amaho. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. But before us, good evening, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
All right, now don't hear now. So, see, Chiefs done the join us for inside this program. NF Bana means the one where we see wealth, they follow. Also, to tell you, see, now rich man, now he deal with us for inside the studio this evening. Akina, we could start from 2021. We'll look at so many things. I want us to start from recently. I'd like to talk to young people recently. Of course, you don't come this program once about the future of this country and waiting young people for do. Today is another day. Make I ask for you for the one with this so last. I think a few weeks ago, never reached 2 weeks, Chile come vote in a 35-year-old young man as president of their country. When you hear that news, how do you feel?
The news is a very good one, and I think it's a eye-opener for most of us for this part of the world. But needless to say that you must also realize that in the past, we don't get people who rule us. And when they did that young. So maybe we need to still be where we get it wrong. Where right now we know they see such young people for sensitive positions again.
But how long can we continue to look at when we get it wrong? Every time we look forward to get it wrong, we get it wrong. How long?
You see, when we talk about leadership position, it's not just being president of a nation. The leadership position cuts across so many areas. In private sector, for example, in institution, even family. So I think for me, it's a very good thing to see young people they stand up to the task, to rule. But again, if you look that person very well, Gabriel, that is his name, you will find out even when he did school, he was more of an activist. And I think he read law. He was an activist who don't lead several protests in the past. So already he don't prepare himself. And you don't make sacrifices, because one thing for you to even lead, you must be willing to make the needed sacrifice. So for me, it's a learning, it's something to learn from for us, especially the young people in this country. Because in recent times, they don't perceive us as people who are not serious. So when we see things like this, we need to look inward and ask ourselves questions. But again, you know, there are so many young people out there who are doing great things, and we need to encourage them as well so that they can come out.
Chief, you believe say one day this country will reach that kind of place? You be person say you don't use the body with politicians, now don't rub body well. You believe say one day one person if he come say na 35 years he come contest either president or governor he come win.
For this our generation.
I don't know.
Anyway, my brother, thank you. But for wetin me dey see for this our nation, this our country, I'm not sure say for now that can take it possible. Even common House of Assembly itself, I'm not sure say any 35 years old person dey there right now. Maybe office and 9 young people won't come. But wetin me for our country, for politics now, I no fit predict am now say 35 years old man go come be even senator or even come be governor or even come be president for our country right now, the way politics dey go currently for our country. So that man, when I study about that man, when I follow the election small, even for him to gather signature at first was very difficult for him.
Which means that it's possible in Nigeria.
It's possible
because the way you talk, you don't really write them off. But over there, it wasn't just a walkover. Was it a walkover?
Now this our country person, fair be governor for his state. He wife na senator. He boy na governor. Another he boy when misbehave, they remove him. Now still our country. That person they prepare his son to become next governor. He won't go for higher presidency for this country. Now this country we see say politician dey groom a successor when be say na almost the same age with am. You never know.
But he has almost not been working.
He has not been working.
Yes, because at the end of the day, the successor will always fighting. You know
yeah, because law if they don't make change, they never make change. Check, just go around our nations now, you will see say all of them get somebody when they groom. Sometimes say the person not be even politician. Sometimes say he not be even somebody when we say he know the grassroots, he know how politics play. But as long as he just dey loyal to them, or they like the way the person be, even when he qualify for that position or not, they go use all their might to place him there. Do you understand me?
Igor,
so
are you saying that young man, he gets that thing on the bed of roses?
No, nothing good comes easily.
So
and whether Nigeria,
whether the top may fear.
No.
Though you know, fear for this generation.
No.
They come. If NSAS happen, what makes you feel that something cannot happen like that?
Personally, you know, everybody gets his own opinion, but we will learn to respect each other. For me, I think if you look at Nigeria, you can easily say yes, it's difficult to have people of that age to get that kind of position, whether president in particular, of governor, or senate, like my brother here put on. But you see, things they change on daily basis. And sometimes if you look things from just on the surface, you might not really get a grip on them. I feel say you get, for me the most important thing now, do we really have young people? Will they capable of taking up those positions if they give them the opportunity? And if you ask me, yes, we have. So if we have young people, I think the most important thing for us to look at now is how do those young people, how do we encourage them? Because I will tell you something, I like to blame governments, I like to blame so many institutions around why things not do right. You get, but again, how many of us will be very educated and we get good paid job or we get good business, they really want to participate for politics? How many of us really they registered for political parties? Because sometimes we they look all these things say now for waywards, people who are not educated, now for riffraffs or deviants. So if you go about, you ask some of your friends, professional friends, they will tell you, say, I not do any party, I beg, I not get time. And those things, now them be the core when it comes to our development. So for me, what I believe we say, if we get people where they capable of taking those positions, what we should be looking at is how do we encourage them? Because they are there. And the people themselves, you need to take up the challenge. You need to take up the challenge.
When you say, the people are being weak,
We see, we as young people, yes, we as young people, we need to take up the challenge. And I will tell you something. In as much as I like to criticize the elderly ones, where they give us young people opportunity, we on our own as young people, we get many areas where we never help ourselves. Because if you look Nigerian politics, for example, who be the people where they engineer election, malpractice and everything? Who be the active force where they feed, where they push? Now young people.
But don't you think that because of say the elderly people, they use money as bait?
See, that is exactly what I was saying now. If like me now and my brother will be chief, it's a young person, he's a chief. He already gets something where to do. He's not begging for money. Somebody like that, if he go out there, go participate for election process, it go be difficult for you to give come they use money, they lower into things that say meet up to in principles and values. Because I want to say something clearly to all of us today. In as much as Nigeria they difficult, believe me, they are very serious-minded Nigerians, young people, where they're very focused, very serious, and they are hardworking. But I will tell you over and over again, we never really stand up to the ovation and say, you see the answers where you talk. When all of us come together for just that few days, we shake the country as a whole, as young persons. They start the dialogue, what we will do and all that. But we never come to a round table say, we want push one young person at the forefront, support them. And if we do, starting from universities, starting from young executive for offices, and people in the street, people where they trade, everybody, if we push for a young person, we go fit. But again, do we have young persons that are equal to the tax? And I will tell you yes. And I will tell you yes. So how do we encourage them? That is the thing. Let's encourage them to come out.
Chief, if the way the answers matter tewaka, so say it don't reach time when we say young people will begin to support each other to the enter politics. Because don't forget, last year, early this year, former President Olusegun Obasanjo just say, young people, make una no wait, say elderly people won't hand over to now. It's not una make una take them by force, that they will not give you. But you now, you don't know.
But that's a true politician that just spoke to you,
Obasanjo.
Waiting you just tell you now. That's the truth face.
But you don't lose hope now. So if you lose hope,
let me say I lose hope. See, I'm a politician. I'm into politics. So I know waiting they play. I know say, just as my brother talked, these elderly ones never want release the baton to us.
Obasanjo just said they're not going to give you.
Yes, they're not going to give us. Now, okay, now we when they young, we when they young, are we united? I will check Sowore issue. Sowore is a young man. How many Nigerians stand up for that man? How many Nigerians actually casted their vote for that man? So, okay, we need a young president. We get somebody, Sowore came out. When you watch the president,
but other people, they don't say Sowore too, he did self-serving. Say because now when they don't, say after all of the don't do presidential disabilities, now when they don't give a minister, now you can begin the fight.
Okay, now before maybe we'll leave that minister aside. At least a young person came out. A young person came out. What is expected from every young person when they agitate for a young president?
Okay.
Everyone is supposed to support that man.
Okay.
But at the end, it's not every young person that supported it.
Okay.
Now another thing, when my brother just talk come out, is even we that are the young persons, are we united? Let me tell you, like what you talked just now, many elites, many professionals, many people who can actually stand up for what is right and ensure that, okay, it canvas others. They don't want to do politics.
Okay. Because we get many issues we will discuss today, so we're not going to just take only this out. But make I just give 12 now. One minute to let us say, cap of this matter. I want to tell 12 now something today. For Edo, for the last election, whether you like it or not, Edo people make one statement that people can be united. You know that?
Yes.
So that will not tell you say if young people, because we can't dey see where even young people from abroad, people wey never vote for their life, but they send money, they come give their people for house. Say look, oh, you must vote, go this one, go that one, go this one. E dey everywhere. So that spirit wey follow those people even when they diaspora to do that thing. What you think say young people go fit do to begin a move as to say young people go also begin to take their place in leadership position? Just talk out for 2 minutes, make himself also put
you see, for me to say that this is how I would like to start. Like first and foremost, my brother here today is making sacrifice, coming out to talk about this issue. Me myself, I dey here. And it's not everybody you see that will want to come out, say, talk, publicly like this. And they get reasons why most people know they want to come out. But the first thing is, we need to make that sacrifice and put away aside our personal ego or whatever we feel as individual. We need to look beyond just our individual self. Because sometimes, if you look some gathering where most people they like to be part of, they will just say the way that they behave, they're not organized. I don't want to be part of this thing. But if you not be part of this thing, it will spoil. You understand?
If you not be part of this thing,
it will spoil.
It will spoil the world.
It will spoil. So no matter how they be there, that and the more reason why you go participate. I get I'm a professional. I've always been in the corporate world all my active career life till this day. What I notice for Lagos, I'm based in Lagos, what I notice we say, if you tell most of our Edo brothers, many of them, they good positions, young, brilliant people, even outside the country. If you tell them, say, come back to Edo, something they here we will go feed you. They will tell you, say, those people, their mentality and all that. I beg. I go say, but this place where they say their mentality get us to be. Now here I give you the springboard where you start life. Take go where you did today. So why look down on them? The truth is, even the elderly ones where they say the young people know they're capable, they already express how they don't take fee. You when you say the young person not will do it, you sure say you don't feel, you don't bring them up way. Then when you criticize other young people, say they know they try, it shows that all of us, we are casualties. So the most important thing, like my brother put on, we need unity. Unity is very key. We need to come together, agree, and make people look beyond just their individual Vandera and how they feel, and think of, we have a common goal to pursue. The state, the country belongs to all of us. We must be collectively responsible for things where they happen for this country.
You see, like within my brother talk, I totally agree that for there to be a dicton for any young person to emerge, it has to really be a collective effort. Because I notice, for politics, if a young person is coming up, this issue of we have been there before you, you are just coming up. When you know how to play politics, they will try to oppress you, even with your finances. Sometimes you go get this bulk of money, say, okay, if it's money, let's use money to push this thing. Some of these persons with your money, they go collect and you're not going to go anywhere. So the only way it will ever be possible for anybody, a young leader to emerge, one, it has to do with unity and it has to take God's grace. My brother, you make reference to what happened in Edo State the last time. See, that issue was it was miraculous. Because even people
What do you mean miraculous? You hope another dimension.
No, you know why they tell you. Yes, now human being. Yes, now human being.
The spirit behind that unity.
Yes.
Not the elderly people that put those things together.
Yeah.
Now younger people, I'm saying that we feel leverage on that spirit.
There's even something going on now where I really I really admire what's in the go on. If you look last year, December, and this year, you will see a very significant change. This year, they're quite very peaceful. Yeah. And I give kudos to the young vigilantes where we get out there. It shows that our youth, they're very useful, not as people they perceive them. You see the way that they go around, maintain peace. And even the boys themselves, everybody say, no, this time around, make they cool-headed and make peace. Which is something to show that if we put our mind in anything, we can really do it. You understand? So I get hope. I believe so much that good things they are ahead of us in this state and even in the country at large.
You get hope at all?
I get hope.
For the beginning, you say
no. See,
not gonna happen for this.
No,
generation.
it's not looking at the
reality. The reality and my people for house. See, I don't see many persons who are young like me, who don't try to spring up politically. When we say at the end of the day, they regretted ever coming to politics and they left. Because some of these our elderly persons, no one leave their positions. And even when
don't tell you, say, you know, they don't go give you like that.
Then if it has to be so, like waiting my brother they analyze and waiting will they see of recent. But more will not always refer to EndSARS. EndSARS, yes, it worked, but it did not get the desirable results.
No, see,
you know why they talk about
refer for EndSARS is not necessarily that EndSARS work.
Yes.
But suddenly, without anybody talking to
anybody, yes,
you just say young people just
come together
on
a baseless foundation. You
so
understand?
Now, can
if we want to
like that.
You say that baseless foundation.
Yes.
But can we, like in the talk, can we turn it? We know if we turn it to which will call the other English now. Foundation will get base.
Yeah, like
foundation will get base.
Yes.
We don't fit turn it to
like waiting my brother they talk. See, if we continue, if good people they say we now go enter politics, the wrong persons when they go make policies when go affect us.
Yes.
So what do we need? We need to canvass these people that we need to change the status quo. Until these people come, you know what I use the word say, if it be this generation, me as a businessman, I know how many persons I don't talk to for Port Harcourt, for Abuja, even for diaspora. Say, if we continue like this, even our own children will suffer more than we suffered. They go tell me, say, politics. No.
Anyway, what we will do is say, we'll get this round of discussion in January. Okay. This time around, we'll also involve some diasporians. Yes, we will begin to look at, we will start from Edo, for instance. I will just start from Edo. Edo Day, okay. But diasporans, if there is unity and people get genuine intention, they feel develop Edo too, we feel join develop Edo. I mean, so.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't see say where people they pay money. You know, when people they pay money for any organization or institution and they see what they use the money do. They go on to pay more.
Do more.
For other countries, they don't they complain about tax. Why? Because for every tax they pay, they see where they toss the road they expire, water they expire, this one they expire. When you get something, they go pay you back. When you do so when they cut tax for you, they happy because they see the implication. So what I'm trying to say is that we just have to start from somewhere, don't you think so?
Yes, there are so many areas we can start from. I'll give you some examples. If you look at the entertainment industry, yes, it's the fastest growing globally in Nigeria now. The way our artists they do, you know, their progression is very vast. Now, I will tell you another thing. If you look that sector, if the organized program, if they sold out, like if they want to do any of the Night of 1,000 Laughs or anything for either Edo Delta anywhere, sold out. But you never see a situation where one day they say they want to do leadership summits or youth summit for young people where they did that, where carry that kind of crowd. So I think the first important thing to do is how do we have people come together to really discuss? Because from that discussion where you have the young people with the right mindset and the vision, now there you go forget ways on which how you go approach getting somebody on board for certain position. And another thing I notice about those of us who are very young, we get too many distractions. It's not like we don't have the resources. We get resources, but we get too many distractions. Sometimes the things where we attach importance to, they are really not the most important thing as far as developing our states and ourselves is concerned. You know, so that is one area I see.
Let me just chip in something, my brother, before you enter on that topic. Do you notice that if I'm bringing Davido, Wizkid, and any other person, I go save to a hall today, that place will be filled up.
Sold out.
Okay, now I have a program by March that has to do with godly politics and renewing the mind of the youth by March. Yes. How many people
will come?
Will come.
No, see, again, I tell you, I don't really want to dwell on those things. But even if we dwell on that, these are the ways I also feel that you can use to catch people. Most of the elderly people, if you want to catch them for village, either you go say you go share food or you go share rice. People go far for the place. When you don't tell them what you want to tell them, you give them food or the rice. I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want do leadership summit, and they see at the end of the day they go see someone like Davido or Tupac. Sorry, I don't Mr. or Two-Face, or any of those people. They would like to come as well.
Okay.
You know, no, are you listening to me?
No, you want if they tell me now, what about the songs when those one can't sing?
Yes,
they actually they contradict the message when I want pass to them.
But no, at the end of the day, you came there for a summit.
Yes.
You go there for a summit. Yes. You want crowd. What you say drag the crowd now? Tell me so. If you don't put that one, you feel put waiting young people go fit attract the crowd. And you know when you want to gather people and do most of it, it's not going to be easy from the beginning. I remember so. No, so he be now. Who be our governor today for those states now? When he start, how he be? You know that this state when they say that they prep them, they do this or they teach them, not sabi talk or to do that. Our governor be like who not sabi talk. If they tell you that same person will be say be governor today.
You know, one of the things.
So what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, it's a process. It's a process, continuous process.
Yes.
You must not see those things. You can start from the universities, the faculties, different ways. You can start from anywhere. Liaise with the what do you call it now? The private and public universities. Liaise with the primary and secondary school. It may not just be what you just talk from television and everybody go back home. And if you want them to back home, you must put what you go make them. Oh, now recently you get one program where federal government do. They call it homegrown school feeding. Where they say they are feeding children. The very few, my own checks, the very few places will be say they don't go do that thing for a do what I don't see. What happen? Ask the heads of those communities. They will tell you that they witness influx of children coming to school because they know that at the end of the school, at the end of the class, they will give the food. So children went up won't go to school before because they thought they will feed for school.
People only understand me. Bringing those things when go attract these youth. My brother, you go outside the talk.
Very well.
Because me, I stand for the youth. You understand? Okay. I want more youth, more elites, more people that are ready to come. You know why I use that word? Say, well, if it has to be this generation. I don't dare among many youth when we don't try do some things politically, we are still oppressed.
Yes.
Many times.
You must. It's a fight.
No. Listen.
It's a struggle, brother. Nobody will give you power like that.
Wait till they talk.
It's fine.
Wetin go attract these youths? Now, actually, waiting me they want fight against.
Yes.
You see, you know, say many of these media people, when our youth they look up to, they are not actually living the life they portray on telly.
Okay.
They are not representing.
They are not representing. Our youth, they copy this thing. They influence our youth dressing. They influence their words. Yes. They influence their hair. Okay. They influence.
One
time. Everything.
All this
now you bring a $1 million car when you dey portray for telly, and you know my age. You know say the meanwhile contract. Yes, contract. The meanwhile talk to people how that actually what you are saying is not the truth. You have to take it gradually before you get there. But when they portray, me one can use you as a.
All those ones, now the reality we talk about now. Now the things when you want change with that. So changing the system, not be mama. Make I wrap up the whole matter with this one. For Bible, when you read Deuteronomy, is it 2 verse 24? It says, I have given you Sihon, one thing. Go and read some kind of place now. It says, go and possess that place, but contend with him in battle. God say he don't give you all this place. You will go fight to get that. Go and read. When you can read Deuteronomy 2:24. So what I'm telling you, nobody will give you power. That's how you see the right exam. Not so. Nobody will give you power. Say take, come and become governor, or come and become a minister, or come and become a speaker. No. Nobody will really just say, as if now I don't do politics. come and take over from me. No. Now fight, now struggle.
Apollo,
Make
one enter another area.
Let's have that topic.
Because my brother was saying something very important.
I beg we talk am before you enter. Just chip am in.
Very important. See, wetin dey talk just now, make we not leave substance.
Yes.
Dey pursue shadow.
Okay.
That thing wey you talk just now dey very important.
Okay.
You see some of it's very important.
Wetin you talk, it be like lamentation. Yes. You dey tell me the problem. You dey tell me the challenge.
No, see.
But I'm telling you that. No, let us look at the solution.
Apollo, if some people don't even know wetin be the problem.
Huh?
So if they know, it go help them to solve the problem.
Okay.
Because doctor not go treat without diagnosing and knowing what the problem is. Yes. So he don't mention a very sensitive thing. You see some of these so-called people where we say we look up to.
Yes.
Some of themselves, they are not representing our interests.
Yeah,
and they will mislead us if care is not taken.
Oh, we must change it now.
No, we have to. We have to.
Okay, you be politician, Nofe. Your brother, political father, Abi political brother, wrote to me, Abichi, after 6 years, when I see they blame Jonathan, say, now be the cause of banditry for Nigeria. What's Nigeria doing like this?
I be Nigerian. First of all, so make you use that word. Actually, my brother, when I actually listen to this thing and I see the write-up, I didn't know where that perception, where he was thinking from. Seriously. Yes, my leader and my party now belong to, and Jonathan the opposite party. But Apollo, this issue, I not just feel arrange am because after 6 years somebody they blame Erufai, say Erufai they blame Jonathan one time, say because Jonathan this Jonathan, but when he get to his own place, when he get to it on, because life na vicious circle, whatever comes around goes around. When he reach a time now, enough he handle am. So sincerely, this matter when you ask me, so I don't know as I want to pass, and I don't know as I want to talk because I don't know why it take it think and actually come out publicly to say such a thing. So my brother, make it for me in touch because okay, I don't know really because that is somebody it be like misplaced priority. Oh no.
See another area I want to ask you. The security challenges in this country, you see they increase every day. As we speak, there's a community in Zamfara. All of them don't run command. Why? The bandits can't tell them, say they give them, I think 30 million. They can't go give them 15. Those people say, if you not complete the 30 million, no go rest for you. Now the community people, all of the corner. Then for, I think Niger, it's still the same thing. In Niger State, about over 500 communities, these people don't compare. And all the time, the Minister of Communication, Information, say no, say that's what they consider the do and since. So, when you look at all of these things, in 2022, how did we fare in terms of insecurity?
Security is something that involves everybody. To be honest, if you want to address the issue of security, whether you be experts in security or whatever, the most important thing is it involves everybody. And I would like to say things from what I know and my experience. I'm not really into security and all of that. But all of us experience the challenges around that area for Nigeria. Starting with Edo, if you notice, when we get issues, we say, come, make the indigenes, the young people come out, address their own security issue. If you notice, we get results. And I just mentioned and just now say, this December compared to last year, the difference is clear. So I feel say, for us to address security issues, all of us need to take on personal, especially the indigenes of that state. Security now one thing where you don't need to play politics with. Not say because not be your person, they power. If you do something good, you go say no good. Then if you do something bad, you say now your person, you know, go talk. So security is something that concerns everybody. But I will tell you the most important thing. even for this Edo we did, where we say we don't dey address the issue, if you go down to our individual streets, if something they go wrong for one of the building there, you dey see say that they gather unnecessary, they do things, and you fail to report to the right authorities or bring am to the notice of everybody, say this thing is of concern, it go only grow to be something that becomes a threat. And that's why if you say it don't happen over time for Nigeria, we dey overlook some things when they dey small, we fit address them. We not pay attention. We feel say maybe na police go do the work, or maybe na military. And over time, it can be issue where both the police, the military, and ourselves, all of us no fit address. So it's always important that all of us go put heads together and take security very personal. If you are not a first person, you can start by giving useful information. And within our individual areas, we need to talk about if a new person come and they act strange, we need to engage them and know wetin you dey do and wetin really dey go on. Because I noticed, like in Edo State, and I will use this platform to say this clearly, Edo na transit town. If you look the way Edo State be, a lot of people they pass through Edo State compared to some other states. People going to the east, the north, they pass through Edo State. And as such, a lot of people they come Edo State, where some will just come, they go hang. You don't know their background, you don't know where they from come, but you will just see them. And this state is a state that is very free. If you come, you go easily blend because we know they speak any language now, common pidgin English, you know. So I feel strongly say, if we not start to address the way people they come in and we start to put tax on what are you coming to do, we take all those things very important, we might even have problems on our hand with time. So those are the areas I see security. It's grassroots oriented, it's local. You know, you need to address it from that premise.
Okay, my brother.
Yes.
After how many?
Yes.
Almost 6 months. Now blame studio.
Not be 6 months, so because
almost
see,
6 years.
when I listen, even me, as young as I am, I no go fit mention some of the things I hear when they talk. After 6 years, we dey go blame past governments. Meaning, you are trying to tell the world that this present government indirectly is a failure. That's what I saw. And not just because, you know, I'm a party man and I am a politician. So looking at the whole thing, might just leave that matter, might take on from security. Because if I say, might begin to talk about that matter, I go be like, they expose so many things. Because this is a man who was formerly a governor. You understand? This is a man who is a chieftain in APC, who is an elder stakeholder. To be talking like this, you are indirectly telling us that, man, the system is, in fact, a total failure. So you want to tell me now, say if somebody set fire, which you don't really know if he actually is the one that set it. The fire, though they burn your children, they burn your home, they burn everything, you not go feel quench am.
Now you tell them, say, they not beg you. Now you tell them, say, you feel resolve the matter.
Yes.
Now you tell them, say, you can solve the problem.
And
you tell them, say, you feel do everything. At the end of the day, you now you can still come because say, no, after 6 years, now not be the man where you to say you feel you know they do well. Say, now make you come. Now that man, now make cause the problem. And so you wait. What about you? When you wait to say you feel solve the problem, come.
You know, say, Papa, if Pekin fail, if he want talk, he not go say fail. Oh. He go say my teacher what failed me, or he go say they didn't mark the script well. See, let's be sincere. If we really wanted to, if we want to be frank, the truth is that the government has the audacity, has the capacity to put an end to this thing if they really want to. If they really want to, it can be dealt with. If they push this so much energy, push this so much facilities when they get into this matter, it will end. So that one when maybe say my person they come out, they tell me say after 6 years now so one leg bend, now so one leg not straight, now the head be the cause after 6 years. You are actually telling us that there is no way forward in this present government.
Okay, make we also look at if the person will say they follow road where most of the travel.
Yes.
The east-west road to Calabar, let's just say from Lagos, from East where we start from where now? But later
even from Delta,
from
straight to Rivers, down
Calabar,
to
that road,
Rivers.
I follow different paths this 2022, Nasi B, 90B, from Olu, you know, if you want to say you want to follow, go Calabar or go Akwa Ibom.
You pass Abia side.
In fact, that side there, na local area. So when you even look at those ones, in terms of development, which new thing you see as you move around the country?
Well, the only development why they take note of now individual development. You know, like if you go around most states, you see people they buy property, they build structures. But when it comes to governance, I must say we have not really done very well. There's a situation in Nigeria per se with governance. Most governments and governors that I've seen, that they do it in the people want, but not what the people need. You know, your wants and your needs, they are two different things. So if somebody do it in you want, you might look at that thing like of value, but it doesn't solve your problem.
But two things happen. When I do program for here, I talk to the former APC publicity secretary for Rivers State.
Yes.
They call the guy Governor Yensaweke flyover governor. But a lot of people they praise that man for Rivers State. Is it true when you reach on ground, in a deviation from what happened before, or in just the one portion and another ambition?
You see, everybody get their various views on projects, but the question you should ask, the project, does it really affect the common man significantly? Because if you go to a place like Onitsha, there's a place they call Mpo. That place gets over, for my own industry where I did into, it gets over 10 of that kind of factory. So the factories there don't engage so many people, but the roads not necessarily they're good. You know, sometimes our politicians...
So why the governor of that state no fix that?
No, wait, you get to tell the drivers. Sometimes our politicians, they do projects where they will just get publicity. But some of those projects, they feel they're visible. Like most times you look at them, they like do flyovers, they bring ShopRite. But ShopRite, is it really a development? Or flyover, is it really a development? And when you look at the national level, we talk about roads. I've been growing up passing through all these roads. When we will start to see train, where they come from places like Cross River straight to Lagos. When we start to use train from Benin to Abuja, from Benin to Lagos. Okay. Because no matter how good the roads be, you need to understand something. If you put too much pressure and burden on the roads, it will always despoil. But you need to get alternative means of transport, which is the railway. That is setting the agenda for them already. But before we set the agenda, I want to ask now one thing. I go one report for EU. Yes. I know you that I put for EU one and they watch us good evening. And I discovered that EU don't kill how many people? The one I feel remember and I be something how I find became. Those are there for that. Yes. One former PDP local government chairman. From that time, when something how I did that. That road they don't do over when I go there over 10 years. I get accident for that road near the flower mill there 2009 December 7th. And the car was a write-off for that same road. So will they go front or will they go back? No, there is hope. But apart from that, you notice, apart from that road, you don't go some states. As you they enter the states, now night, but everywhere go bright. Everywhere go bright like saying at daytime. It gets some states when you fit trek. Apart from road there, that Ewu road, that turn that time that they use 406. That Ewu road, as I don't know what happened. That time I dey Auchi, I dey go Benin. The road, as I dey try to climb down, I don't know what happened. That road, the 406 begin by itself, they go back. And after they go back, now so overheat. And glory to God, say no car was in my back and no children in my back. I can't have to turn, park the car for one place. I left the car and I started praying.
But let me tell you something as far as I dey talk am just now. E get some state for this our nation when we say if you dey come, everywhere go bright even if na night. Then you fit even trek normally for daytime when we say sun dey, but because of the trees like Oba market, you know, see that Obama, that Yanga market, you see the way the trees, you see that place get your unique beauty.
True.
Na crowded area, but because of those trees wey dey road and the street light wey dey center, e get your unique beauty for that Yanga market side. Now if you dey come Edo State for night, e go be like say you dey come dome of darkness. Nothing, maybe if you come enter the road, you dey see bulb for front of people house, and not only all the bulbs go on, no, some of the bulbs now go on. Now it has to do, you see, every state.
But they say they don't open. They say the governor don't go on for the 24th.
Where on the Uniben, front of Uniben?
For Ring Road.
Okay, yes, he don't honor.
So
now let Ring Road.
No, for that place I hear it say whether they don't go Kawan Road, whether they don't go Ring Road, whether they don't go Supply Road, whether they don't go at Papaba.
I never see my people. I never see.
Only Ring Road.
Wetin my brother dey talk is just bigger. It's bigger than Benin. You are talking about the entire state. Honestly, and if you are going to the east, every town be like they were.
As you dey enter, you go see the reflection.
You go see life. You know, but for the east, you need to understand the east, like Anambra State, their landmarks and Edo is not the same. We are very vast in terms of landmarks. But see the problem, Oga Emmanuel.
You don't come up for the line, you don't come up for line. You don't go landmarks. Like the video that I see where Mr. Governor for talk. Airport road, you come up for, thank God say, I used want to take comments. I use, at least maybe I say appreciate them. Say flights they come Benin for night. I be obviously done at development.
Yes.
Not that say that time we see for Benin we say 6 o'clock go the road one flight past 6 o'clock don't finish. Now flight they come 8, flight they come anytime. Now when people come enter Benin in the night from airports, you just meet with darkness. Now they try to talk.
Now they try, you know. Don't say.
Then two. Now look at airport road. Go Supply road down. Go at Papava, Mission Road, Forestry, come go at Kawan Road. Then that old street like Dancing, New Bini, those ones at least, even if you know if you even reach every other place, those areas you're supposed to see some life. You understand what I'm saying now? We discuss some of these shows just now. Let's say if not for this year, nightlife not going to Edo State again. Now. So all of those things are waiting governor will look for 2020.
Another thing when I want me to look at Apollo, now that Egu Road, you know what that issue for that Egu Road, they affect the children, the youth of that place. That Egu Road, they see dead body constantly there. And it affects their mentality.
I think say, no wait, I think say not only me. Not only me they see that thing. And unfortunately, my brother, again, another thing you know talk when they talk about this matter, and be prayer. You know, they need to pray for our leaders. Because as me and you they talk Ewu Road now, they feel make you senator tomorrow, and you know we talk about Ewu Road again. But let me take you back. My brother, do you know what it means for 7-year-old Pekin? You know they play for us and the next thing, children will just assault. You go take boom, you go catch fire. As the children catch fire, people go there cry. The fire go burn those people. Finish for them because no fire service, nothing.
And the children they see them.
And they see them.
May I even tell you something way they near us here. If you look in recent times, before dry season, this our Supply road towards bypass now issue. But there's something with governments, or I would say all of us together, we fail to look. There was an existing old road before this new road. Why is it that every time they start a new road, they abandon the old one? Because I feel say, if you get a new road, you need to take that opportunity to repair the old one so that it will be alternative routes.
I want to set off the message because as we wrap up, we reach enough people for us for Edo State, and we talked about the east-west road, and if we look at our people need to purge themselves because NDDC, for instance, not be northerners. Now be chairman and executive director and everything for NDC. Now southerners. So all those things wey they talk now southerners make the east-west to be like that. Then for Edo, go to the distance. Una don't forget say for Esan Central, I be how for that Esan land. Una don't produce Edo Central, right? Yes. Una don't produce different ministers of works.
Of course.
Abi?
Yes.
And una not for fit do that away. So as we talk around for television now some those ones still they talk about television. At the end of the day, now where the road be still be. I got to give you one analysis just and say, you know, imagine the trauma a 5-year, 7-year-old child will feel to watch a vehicle have an accident and get born and they are all watching. The fear and trauma they have going to farm, coming back when they hear noise of accident, go all over the go because there road safety not even to qualify. So the vehicle they burn finish.
How many fire service they
another thing
Central?
you don't even watch video for Kashakari for Abuja where fire happen. And which other thing, even early this December Balogun market now.
Lagos.
Government of Nigeria, both state and federal, they take fire with levity. I don't know. They don't attach anything like say fire service na part of government.
That's all.
Then another thing is also roads and durability. You understand? My brother, I didn't want to start with Akwa Ibom. When you get to Uyo, even in contact with as a local government, you will know that somebody was once a governor in this place. Mm-hmm. Somebody was once a governor because you go just see and you go just there. Julius Berger had the local government roads. Yeah, even when we tar these roads now, how many days? 2 years, it don't finish.
Not the reach 2 years, sir. No duration.
Finally, may I give you one analysis again? I asked the Commissioner of Works of Cross River Akwa Ibom State. You know what he tell me? He's making tell us one thing we don't know. That all the granite they still do work for Port River State now from Akwamba after Uyo, now they go carry am. So all of them they pass through Uyo. So if to say their roads no good, their road for them for those where. But as they pass that place reach, na CB, na EB. So for 2022, we want to beg our people, say most of these things maybe they do them for the future of our children. You don't get anybody who will say in Pekin, no go take this country. Because now the one we say we hand over to them, let them carry command. I been more than just drop one advice for government. 1 minute for contact me again.
First and foremost, yes. I think for government to succeed, yes, they need to engage people more aggressively. And the only way to do that, since I grew up for Benin, I never attended any town hall meeting where you give a platform for both young people to come and you tell them your plans and share ideas. And then they can really call them to responsibility for things not done. So they should create a premise where them and young people will feel they talk, which is more like a town hall meeting.
So my own advice to the government is say, maybe they use the right persons for the work, so that actually these right persons could do the job. Maybe they know they use sentiment and relative, especially work when concerning the general public. So that my advice with that.
All right, people, fast. So we wrap the program today. We salute everybody. Once more, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good night and